today I'm very happy to be joined by Sachin Puri, the CEO of Bluehost, and we're going to be talking about what's happening over at Bluehost and how that's going to change the open web and WordPress and all sorts of other fun topics. Sachin, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here. Good morning, everyone. This is quite a good showing. I was just making some rounds. Great participation, and I'm excited to be here. This is my first CloudFest, so it's a lot to soak in here.
Wow. Sachin, you joined Bluehost at a particular time for the web, with the AI, with what's happening with open web. We're seeing a lot of disruption. And what were the moves between infrastructure and innovation? What brought you the idea of what the opportunities were you could address?
Absolutely. See, this is the perfect time. I couldn't think of any better time for us, everybody in the room, and for me to join Bluehost, because the technology has really enabled us to bring things and experiences to the market that was never possible before. It would take years and years of coding to be able to do something. So ultimately, for Bluehost, our mission is very simple: to help small businesses be successful online. And for us to be able to do that, there is a lot of really good investments that we're making that I'm very passionate about. One of them is our partnership with Oracle. Soon we're going to go public with that information, and we'll talk more in terms of how that is enabling us to bring enterprise-grade performance and reliability and security to SMBs at SMB simplicity and SMB affordability. And so that's exciting. And the way I think about it, Karim, as we were talking backstage, we're largely around 4 pillars. And these 4 pillars are critical for any SMBs or ISVs or MSPs to power their infrastructure or their websites or their store. Content, I know there's a lot of conversations around content, how AI is enabling that. And commerce, they want to sell something online or they want to manage applications. And the third is to get discovered and have a communication with their customer. And AI is enabling us to be able to connect those dots faster than ever before. And so we are really doubling down on AI, on bringing these 4 pillars together.
I'm interested, my ears pricked up, because with CrowdFavorite we work a lot with the enterprise. So Oracle is a name very well known to us, but I don't hear it in what you're doing, what your competitors are doing. How is Oracle going to bring you an edge?
That's a great question. So, see, OCI has really made very significant investments, as many of you know, in cloud infrastructure globally. The data centers are everywhere, the technology stack is new, and the business models are a lot more friendlier to today's time. So we have a global scale partnership at Bluehost and New4 level with OCI. And what that enables us to bring completely enterprise-grade infrastructure to SMB. What that really comes down to, that today we can offer easily and guarantee 4 nines or better with incredibly fast-paced delivery of that infrastructure across the globe. We added about 7 data centers faster than ever before, and we plan to not stop there. And the performance gains that we're getting from OCI is fantastic. What makes it really, really interesting for us is our scale allowed us to bring this at a price point that is very, very lucrative to us. And I would want to offer to our partners and customers to take advantage of that. And that's not limited to just SMBs building their stores or their website, but also here at CloudFest, there are ISVs, there are MSPs, managed service providers, there are agency partners, plugin providers, and everybody needs to power their application one way or the other, their customer's application.
What will that look like for your partners as you move to this new infrastructure? Is it different? Is it more of the same? How do you approach that?
So a couple of different ways. The way we thought about our partnership is really in 3 tiers. But I'm also open for other business models here as well. But at a broad stroke, One is our ability to power our partners' infrastructure. So for example, Karim, I know you focus a lot on enterprises and you live, breathe enterprises for what, 33 years?
Yeah.
Long time. So 3 decades. You know enterprise extremely well. Now, your expertise in is an area of managing the enterprise needs, the software around it, needs around it, etc. And this partnership allows yourself and other partners here to use their infrastructure to build their services on top of that. Because that's our expertise. We're managing, bringing those live, and OCI is helping us scale it globally. So that's one business model which is very straightforward. That is new for Bluehost as well. And second is we have millions of customers. Bluehost and at New World level, we cater to millions of customers who are looking to build and expand their businesses globally. Now, there are so many partners here who are building solutions around WordPress, open source community, or broadly for cloud services itself. And we would love to hear more. And honestly, the third one is, which is very close to my heart, is the channel partnership. We help sell your things and you help sell Bluehost in some kind of a value-added services. So I love those partnerships.
Well, as we discussed before, both of us love open source. We're really invested in WordPress, your company especially, with Yoast,
Yeah.
all the infrastructure that you're putting in. Forgive me, the name of the tool you have for now, the WordPress experience.
We call it AI website builder.
Right, AI website builder. With all of these acquisitions, what's your position around these investments? Are you continuing to invest? Are you continuing to build? Or do you have to organize what's there? What's the innovation track look like?
See, that is one of the biggest differentiators for us. So short answer is we continue to invest. So as I was talking about earlier, there are 4 pillars with which we are thinking about bringing this to market. So there is an infrastructure layer, which is about powering your application on your website. We talked about that, we touched on that, the partnership with OCI and how we're able to bring that enterprise-grade performance at SMB affordability and price point with a global scale. The other 3 pillars are core in terms of bringing a true SaaS-like experience to our customers, because that's what they're looking for. And largely, if you think of somebody who wants to take their business online, there are 3 jobs that they want to do. One is they want to build a content. Now, content journey doesn't, based on our research, start only when you're actually building a website. It starts from, what do I name my company? What do I name my domain itself? And from there, how does my logo look like? What content do I write on my website? What my website look and feel needs to be? What's the description of my product? All the 9 yards of things that are visible and invisible as well, because we all know search engines and LLMs operate a lot with the invisible content, the structure of the website, etc. And those are one of the 4 pillars that Bluehost has always been very, very strong with our acquisitions as well as the homegrown technology that we have built on. That's the AI builder that we were talking about. Then the second pillar is commerce. End of the day, businesses exist because they want to sell something. One of the key things that we learned is when we think of commerce, not everything is about an online transaction. There are thousands of SMBs who are looking to just manage appointments or walk-ins. And being able to enable that is powerful. I think that's where some of our acquisitions around Git allowed us to offer that to our customers. And then of course there are online transactions, which is all about managing your product catalog, connecting it to all the marketplaces, having a PCI compliant site, having a single click checkout, because it's all about taking the transactions and really feeding it down the funnel. And the last piece is the discovery and communication. This is where our investments in Yoast continues to be, is how does a website get discovered on local listing, search engines, LLMs, social media, bidirectional communication with customers through email. Credibility is one of the core elements for SMBs. And when you think about that, being able to represent themselves in a much more credible, succinct way from content to commerce to discovery is what we are trying to fuel so that they can focus on their business, their secret sauce, and the infrastructure around that is automated around AI.
So what I'm hearing is less focus on hosting your CMS and more focus on helping you build your business as a customer of Bluehost.
CMSs are honestly a gift. It just allows you to scale across the board globally and easily, and we have the deep-rooted history around CMSs, particularly WordPress. Bluehost has been recommended by WordPress since 2005, so we do enjoy being able to build application in an open source environment that allows customers to have portability of their application, take advantage of all the plugins in the ecosystem, etc. So our focus continues to be powering the websites, and CMS is a way to power it. But what we are evolving to, which I'm sure the whole conversation is about, how does AI really accelerate this motion of being able to run your businesses online? Commerce, for example, I think we as an ecosystem provider can really help quite a bit of commerce. One of the stats that get really excited is, like, if I'm not wrong, every second website or every third website is on WooCommerce. It is an open source platform, and it is our opportunity to really accelerate on that. And we are doubling down on it with our Git platform as well as some of the native AI investments that we're making on the commerce side.
So I'm going to sneak in a question of my own here. In our space, it's about enabling our customers to use the entire ecosystem, and we like to think of open source as the center of that. Do you envision a Bluehost WordPress future where you are also helping your customer integrate into what's next as AI keeps changing? How do you see the future of this constant change of AI affecting how can your customers keep up?
Yeah, see, our job as a platform is to really abstract this level of technology innovation in a super simplistic way that customers can use. And that has stayed true, I would say, to the DNA of the company at the Bluehost level. And so we are plugged into every AI ecosystem, and the investments that we are making, especially around our MCP servers, and enabling that as the industry is growing, because at some point of time, websites would enable and become more agentic by themselves. We are already seeing that it will be commerce from anywhere. It will be bots talking, LLMs talking to LLMs, and LLMs enabling other LLMs to be able to extract that information. Now we continue to invest in that to make sure that level of complexity, your sophistication, you probably know it from the back of your hand, and your team does. But if it goes to an SMB, which is a single member, 10 member, 50 member organization, they cannot have that IT resources to be able to manage and keep up. And our goal is to make it extremely simple so they can focus on their application.
But does that create this vertical one-way road where a hosting company needs to become a SaaS and solve horizontally everything, or can you continue to offer alternatives to your customers, whether it's email engine service X or something that works on your platform or having APIs? Where do you see Bluehost on that level?
See, open ecosystem is the only way you can grow. That's my point of view. And what we are investing in, our entire architecture is extremely modular. The reason I'm here, I'm looking for partnerships where we're able to plug into our ecosystem. From my experiences, when you want to really go stronger, you go with partnership. So I talked about where our strategic expertise is in managing infrastructure, being able to scale cloud globally. And we can offer that to our partners here, and they can leverage on our expertise to build on their services. The reverse side is we're not going to invest and build everything internally. Optionality is critical to the customers, and as long as they can stay within that platform, it's fantastic. So you talk about email, we do have email capability, and we have partnership with some really amazing innovative companies to bring email services to our customers. Because as I talked about, the 4 pillars, discovery and communication, email still is one of the very powerful tool, a very powerful platform for customers to interact with their customers. Now, our goal is to make sure that we enable our platform where innovations in email, in text messages, in social media is easily accessible to our customer. Now, that can only happen through an ecosystem. Now, back to your point, whether hosting company is evolving into a SaaS platform, I think that's the writing is on the wall. Every company is rewriting SaaS 2.0. Not just SaaS, SaaS 2.0, where it is not software as a service, it is service as a software. And when you think from that paradigm, we're at one of the best times in technology because you can achieve SaaS 2.0 at a very rapid accelerated pace. So it's not just AI for the end users, but we are using AI for an extremely fast, rapid development of our own tools. So go back 4 years, if you have to connect all these ecosystems, all these different tools, you would have to think about what should my API layer needs to be, what my experience has to be, and someone has to go code each one of those, maintain it, QA it, etc. With AI, that acceleration is extremely fast because the new coding technology allows you to get to a starting point. It's still, at least from our experience, is not something we can put in front of the customer. Because when we put something in front of the customer, it has to be high quality, highly well tested. So, but it is giving us a path for acceleration.
So what I'm hearing is you want to make it simpler for the end customers to use these new AI technologies without sort of leaving them out in the wilderness. Because not every customer is going to say, I'm going to figure out how to use an agentic system to do X, Y, Z, right? But how can you enable your partners, the agencies that work with Bluehost, to make it easier for their customers?
Yep. So, a couple things. First, let me get to the end users and I'll come to the agency part as well.
Absolutely.
What we are seeing is when customers, end users are using AI and our AI flows, they have more than 2x likelihood of going online within minutes. So when we measure customers' ability to start the website and taking it live, having published, have that website available, connected to a domain, resolved beautifully, it's an amazing moment for anybody who's building a website. I'm sure, Karim, you can relate to it. That curve is accelerated by more than double by just somebody using it. Now, when you think of that perspective, what that allows is an SMB to be able to think of many creative ways the way they want to tell the story. I give this example quite often. There's a florist. Florists are amazing in building and assembling beautiful bouquets.
Right.
Now, you put a bouquet together, which you put your heart and soul, and you put it up there, and you ask yourself a question. You know what? I wish my homepage was a picture of this bouquet. Now, if we think back, all the steps that has to happen for that bouquet to go from a picture to a homepage, series of steps that goes behind it. It's not that easy in today's world. Now, those kind of use cases become extremely easy for end users who are able to build their websites through an agentic framework. Now, to your second question, on the agency side, I think this is a fantastic time for agencies as well because, listen, agencies have one of the most experiences of being able to build websites across the board. The way I think about this, and we incorporate at Bluehost as well, is AI. There's a huge race towards AI today. Everybody wants to have an AI solution for right reasons. We talk about SaaS 2.0, but my view is it's the AI plus human is where the uniqueness comes in. Now, if you close your eyes and you think about all the websites and all the beautiful experiences your company has built, and people and agency partners here. There is a huge wealth of knowledge that has come together. Now, if you take that and build a framework for a human-based templates, for lack of a better word, human-based themes, and let AI build from there hundreds and thousands of experiences that are valid for your customer, then what it does is it gives you a very, very fast accelerated pace to be able to bring innovation to your customer.
But how? So in the enterprise space, we're the experts and the consultants, but they have the content teams internally actually working on the content. With some of the smaller agencies, for the mid-market, for the small cap, they bank on being able to help service that customer. In your example of having the end user, the customer, be able to get that image on the site, there's a fear that these agencies are going to lose out and you're taking away from them. How are you helping them bring back that service? Is there a way for you to help them become more consultative and less hands-on keyboard?
See, consultative is the direction I believe agencies have always succeeded in. That's my point of view, and I'm sure you agree with that too. I think it was hidden in your question as well. What has happened in the past is that technology is limited in terms of the level of innovation that can come in. So I'll pick your example. That customer, let's say customer A, was earlier dependent on an agency to build content. Content comes from agencies, that picture is okay, bring it online, but it stops there. Now with the power that we are bringing to our agency partner, they don't have to stop there. They start thinking of the use cases beyond. Okay, how does that content show up on social media? How does that content really start to show up on SEO? How does that content impact the brand of the company, especially from enterprise standpoint? How does that content help in selling things more? And that influences the product description itself. So we just launched a tool called AI Discovery, AI Insights to our use platform. What that does is, you give your website, tell a little bit, and it will tell you completely how your website, enterprise, SMB, looks in the view of LLMs. There are enough tools out there that tell you how search engines view your web presence. But when you extend it to LLM, the visibility starts to limit. Now, if an agency is using those tools and saying, brand A, we ran this insight and we can tell you from spider chart where you are showing up in which content and which dimension, and you should build content around this, and here are the 20 ideas. Oh, by the way, these are not just 20 ideas, actually we generated the content for you from our AI engine. So now what you've done, you've gone 5 steps beyond of that consulting of build this content to me to this is how your brand is perceived. These are the spaces and vectors on which your brand should show up. And here are the 20 content ready to use, available for you, embedded. Now if you take it further, our technology also allows you to do internal linking. So now that content has gone beyond just being a content available in the brand, but also enabling and feeding into the SEO.
Okay.
So I'm building this with you, but the idea here is that technology is going to allow us, and especially agencies, to come up with new, better, more consultative services which were not possible in the past because it required a human work. Imagine building 20 pieces of content, finding it and then building it. What time would it take?
So the agencies can use these same tools with their customers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we are bringing a variety of different business models. Those are specific to agencies to use these tools, test it, try it, give us feedback, and take it to their customers.
All right. So I have one last question. With our customers being so different sometimes than some of the base customers that Bluehost has had, we still have the same problem. Every day, your customers are coming to you and my customers are coming to me, and they're saying, but this end-to-end SaaS is promising me X. how are you going to compete? And as we've talked about right now in this talk, it's a complex solution, but one that we're trying to make easier for the customer. On the enterprise side, we're seeing a new conversation happen. The new conversation is around data ownership and around the access to that data. Is the end customer and the SMB market ready to hear the message about keeping ownership of your data? Is that a part of the pillars as you see them? How do you explain to your customer when they see these very attractive SaaS systems that might be selling their data because it's not a direct relationship? Is the SMB market ready for that? Is your market ready for that? Or is it still just about making these tools available? How do you approach that?
The market is evolving, and you raise a very important point about the data piece, and that knowledge and awareness is evolving over time, faster than I think anybody would imagine, because of the advent of media and social media, where people are realizing how data is being used. But I'm going to go back to your initial point around SaaS and affordability, and then we'll talk about data as well. There are enough SaaS platforms available. I'm sure there is a plethora of options available. One of the key things that continues to remind us that when you are part of an open ecosystem, your total cost of ownership is always going to be better. And there are enough research out there. I'm sure many people in the audience have done this research as well. When it goes to total cost of ownership, open source ecosystems allow. For example, WordPress by itself still powering more than 40% of the websites worldwide. We already talked about the WooCommerce. We always talk about more than 65,000 plugins that are available. So you have optionality.
Absolutely. In the enterprise space, even with enterprise-grade SLAs, we are 50% cheaper with open source than we are with a Adobe level experience, right? And so it makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's another data point. So I think that total cost of ownership resonates very well. But the second portion of that is also optionality. Optionality comes in a variety of different forms. It comes in the way of which tools and technologies that are available to you in that particular ecosystem. We talked about plugins and interoperability of that in our platform. Second, that optionality also comes in with no lock-ins. SaaS platforms usually have a proprietary data platform experience there, which you'll kind of start with. With open platform, you build a website at any place and you can take it anywhere else. So we are working towards winning that customer every day.
So that's how you're explaining to them about that data portability rather than that data ownership.
Yes.
I'll be curious to see if that ever actually gets to a point where the end customers understand how important that is in today's.
I think that's a responsibility we all have, and customers are evolving as well, where data is the fuel. At the same time, if you really go to an end customer at SMB, they want to run their life. They want to provide.
Exactly.
And our job, which we wake up every single day feeling extremely proud and humbled that we have that opportunity to enable that SMBs out there trying to feed for their family and helping them be successful. And that's what excites us. That's the technology we invest in with the pillars that we talk about.
We're looking forward to seeing what comes next.
Thank you, very, very excited. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Please enjoy a short break.